Hello, Casey. This is Tim Hogenboom again, and welcome to fall. It is September. The leaves are starting to turn color. I was talking to my friends up north, and sure enough, it is a lot colder up there than it is down here. But it feels like Fireplace season is shortly upon us. So, without to say, we're into a new ministry season. New things are happening. And as always, just wanted to take a few moments and update you in terms of what's happening here at KC, behind the scenes stuff, and particularly the financials. So, without further ado, where we are with financials this month. For this month, we had budgeted for income of 116, and church, we saw 145,000 come in this month. This is such a blessing. It's such a gift. You are such a generous church. This is a generous church, and God has blessed us, and we're so grateful. So that's just, usually this is kind of the uncertain time of the year where we're not sure what's happening as we're ramping into things, and yet this has been so far beyond our expectations. So church, thank you for just your generosity through this. The expenditures, we had budgeted 199,000 for expenses, and we only spent 191 this month. So were we expecting a budget of $83,000 loss for this month? We actually only have a $46,000 loss for this month so far. So, these numbers are incredible. To see these revenues are 124% above budget, and they're 132% above last year's giving. So church, thank you for your generosity through that so far. Okay, so year to date, where are we at? Income was $255,000 is what we had budgeted, and we actually seen 290 so far come in this year. And then the expenses were budgeted for 309, and we actually spent 308 so far. So all in all, we're about $67,000 ahead of where we expect it to be this year. And it's so neat to see as we look at trends and we look at numbers. Somebody said to me this week, it's such a great quote, numbers simply tell the stories of people. And so as we're looking at numbers, what stories are we seeing? What are the things that we're seeing emerge in terms of stories of individuals at our church? And when we're looking at numbers, one of those numbers is the amount of givers. And we're seeing 80 more givers this time this year rather than last year, which is 80 more people that have said, we're on mission, we're involved, get us, what can we do, and to give to the cause that is KC, to make Jesus known and to know Jesus. So church, thank you again for your generosity. It's been so great just to be part of that this season, coming to a strong season. Where are we at for the restricted donations, missions and outreach? We continue to see funds coming for that, Care Connections and the Capital Reserve. So for this fiscal year, we've seen $6,000 come in for the Capital Reserve projects. Where does that leave the Capital Reserve Fund at July 31st? Well, that's a really amazing number. That's $145,000. But we just signed the checks for them the other day. So that account is going to look a whole lot different next month, as most of that is going to be absorbed by the parking lot and all the work there. Just really quickly, the parking lot has cost us around that much in total, but there have been so many organizations in our community, so many individuals in our church and outside our church that have donated time, resources, energy, expertise. So there has been literally tens of thousands of dollars donated by people within our church and outside our church in our community. And so to those people, we just want to say thank you. Thank you for your generosity and thank you for your support as we do that project. We're wrapping up. We're putting some extra lines here and there in the parking lot, some barriers here and there, but for the most part, we're 99% done on that project. Talking about Capital Reserve, as you may know, the Fireplace, that is kind of the next project on the books. We're looking to kind of wrap that up for the winter season. As you may notice, there's a big hole there without a fireplace. And so that's going to be part of the larger capital campaign project. We're going to look at seeing what we need to do in that room. But we just thought it'd be wise to press pause on the project as it is, to make sure we can make it through the winter, wall it up, make sure the heat doesn't escape and the mice don't come in. And then next fall or next spring, as we're looking at the capital campaign overall, that we can continue on with the Fireplace project there. And as far as the capital campaign is concerned, those are ongoing, and we're just looking at ministries and looking at potential projects and changes here in the building to accommodate. So those conversations are happening in full force as we try and narrow down what direction that KAC is being called into to this next ministry season. So church, I just sincerely want to say thank you for your trust. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you for leaning into the mission. We're excited about where we're going this year in ministry and what God has for KAC. We always tell about what's coming up, but we just want to look back. We just had kickoff, so we're just going to go into a bunch of scenes, what happened at kickoff, and it was so exciting to see our church come together in an event like that, and we're just going to see some clips around that. So church, thank you for your generosity. Thank you for everything that is KAC.